If you want to know how good Ash is going to be when he comes out in Brawl Stars, it's really helpful to look at how he compares to brawlers that we already have in game. So Ash is going to have 7,280 hit points, which is just 280 more than Daryl and 280 less than Rosa. So it's like Daryl and Rosa had a baby, but the baby was made of trash. Now the shape of Ash's attack is a rectangle and it's 5 tiles long, which is just 1 tile shorter than Nita's attack, and it's actually the same width, so in every sense it's the same as Nita's attack, just 1 tile shorter. And in fact, the base damage for Ash is really close to Nita's, only 112 less at 1,120 damage. Now once you get to the Rage level 1, your damage upgrades to 1680, which is only 28 more than Brock's damage. And if you get to the second level of Rage, you're going to be doing the same damage as Dynamite, which is 2,240. These attacks can actually be unloaded pretty fast. There is a bit of a delay time before you attack, sort of like swinging with BB, and it takes 3/4 of a second to unload a full attack. BB though is about a half second longer, so even though Ash does have the delay before his attack, it'll still feel a half second quicker than BB. He does have a slow-ish reload speed though at 1.5 seconds, which is the same as Stu's, and you tend to run out of ammo with him every now and then. Now the other thing about Ash's Rage bar is that when it's full, you get a movement speed buff. This is basically the same thing as BB's home run star power, except you're charging up the Rage bar by dealing damage or taking damage. So it'll probably take a bit longer to charge up, but otherwise, it's just like you got a star power, but in your main kit. Now, Ash's super spawns 5 RATS bots. Yes, that spells rats, but it's also star backwards. But it also has the same letters as trash, without the H, of course. I don't know if that's a coincidence. But each of these bots will chase your opponents until they hit them and explode, dealing 420 damage. This is basically the same mechanic as Tick's super. So if we imagine Tick's super divided into 5 separate parts, then you basically got Ash's super. Now, if you add up all the health of these bots, since they have 420 each, that's 2,100 total health, which is actually 140 less health than Tick's head. And if you add up all the damage, it's also 2,100, but that's 700 less damage than the damage of Tick's head. So it's gonna feel like you're throwing down a Tick super because it'll have about the same total combined health. The thing is, dealing maybe half of that health will get rid of a couple of the bots and reduce the damage you take. Whereas with the Tick super, if you don't fully take out the entire thing, then you're gonna take max damage. So even though the maximum damage of this super is already significantly less than Tick's, it's going to be even harder to get to that maximum damage. And on top of that, none of the bots deal pushback like Tick's super would when it hits an opponent. Now the only benefit to Ash's super is that it has a bit more range than Tick's, so you can sort of get them to spawn directly on top of your opponent. And also there's just more of them, so it's going to be harder to aim when you have all of these different targets surrounding you. But generally speaking, Tick's super has significantly better stats. So basically, Ash is just a brawler that has a bit less HP than Rosa, with a slightly shorter Nita attack that's delayed like BB and reloads like Stu. But the Nita attack does Brock damage at Rage level 1 and Dynamite damage at Rage level 2. And when the Rage bar is full, you get a BB home run speed boost. And for your super, you spawn a slightly lower health Tick head that's split into 5 and fairly reduced damage on each of those parts and no pushback on top of that. So what I'm saying is, he's trash. He might be pretty good though.